Development of urinary system, development of kidney, development of ureters, and development of bladder. So here we can see the three germ layers: ectoderm, endoderm, and mesoderm. So this mesoderm is intraembryonic mesoderm. So intraembryonic mesoderm is divided into periaxial mesoderm, intermediate mesoderm, and lateral plate mesoderm. So this lateral plate has a somatopleuric layer. This one is somatopleuric layer, and this one is the splanchnopluric layer. So here one is the amniotic cavity and yolk sac. So after folding, yolk sac is incorporated within the fold, and the amniotic cavity covers the embryo. So the yolk sac, it forms the gastrointestinal tract. So the intermediate mesoderm, that forms the genitourinary system. So the genitourinary system, it develops from the intermediate mesoderm and cloaca. So the gut is divided by the folding into foregut, midgut, and hindgut. So the dilated parts, caudal parts of the gut, it is known as the cloaca. Here there is a sectional view. You can see there is an intermediate mesoderm. Okay, so here one is the intermediate mesoderm. This one is the lateral plate mesoderm, intermediate mesoderm, and periaxial mesoderm. So there is a bulge in the intermediate mesoderm. This bulging from the urogenital ridge on the dorsal wall, on the dorsal body wall, just lateral to the attachment of the dorsal mesentery. Here one is the dorsal mesentery and gut. This is the formation of the bulging, that is the urogenital ridge. This urogenital ridge, the medial part, that forms the genital ridge, and lateral part, that forms the nephrogenic cord. So this nephrogenic cord, that extends from the cervical to the sacral segment. The cloaca. So this cloaca is divided by the one septum that extends between the guts and the allantois. It extends downwards. And this septum, it is situated coronally. So it divides the cloaca into ventral segment and dorsal segment. So this anterior segment, ventral segment, it is known as the primitive urogenital sinus, and dorsal segment, it is known as the primitive rectum. So mesonephric duct, that opens into the primitive urogenital sinus. So mesonephric duct, about the opening of the mesonephric duct, it is divided into vesicourethral canal and definitive urogenital sinus. So the primary urogenital sinus divided into the upper part vesicourethral canal and lower part into definitive urogenital sinus. So the cloaca divides primitive rectum and primitive urogenital sinus. So upper part, it is a vesicourethral canal, and caudal part, it is a definitive urogenital sinus. and from the vesicourethral canal, development of the urinary bladder and primitive urethra. The kidney, it has a collecting part and secreting part. So we see there is a tubules, proximal convoluted tubules, distal convoluted tubules and loop of Henle. So this part, it is a secretory part. Then the collecting tubules, collecting duct. So collecting tubules, collecting duct, minor calyces, major calyces and pelvis, it form the collecting part. So the kidney develops from the two parts, collecting part and secretory part. So the collecting part, it develops from the ureteric bud. So in the intermediate mesoderm, there is a duct is developed. It is known as the mesonephric duct. From the cranial to the sacral part, it is known as the mesonephric duct. So the ureteric bud, it arises from the caudal part of the mesonephric duct. And it grows towards the metanephron. And this mesonephric duct open into the cloaca. So lower part of the mesonephric duct open into the cloaca. And from the mesonephric duct, ureteric bud arises. And this ureteric bud goes towards the metanephric blastema. The ureteric bud is dilated. This dilated part, it is known as the ampulla. So around the distal dilated end of the ureteric bud, nephrogenic cord forms a cape-like structure. It is known as the metanephric blastema. So around the distal end of the ureteric bud, nephrogenic cord that form the cape-like investment, it is known as the metanephric blastema. So this ureteric bud is divided for 12 to 4 generations, and it forms the renal pelvis, major calyces, minor calyces, collecting duct and collecting tubules. So the distal generation of the ureteric bud that form the collecting tubules and collecting duct. Then it forms the minor calyces, major calyces and pelvis of the ureter. Development of the secretory part. So secretory part that develops from the metanephric blastema that kept around the ureteric bud. So the collecting tubules. So this is the tip of the collecting tubules. It dilates and it forms the ampulla. So it induces the mesodermal cells of the metanephric cape to form the cluster of cells surrounded it. And this cluster of cells acquire a lumen to form a renal vesicle. So the cell, mesodermal cell, forms a cluster of the cells around the collecting tubules, and these cells acquires a lumen. And this lumen is elongate and it forms a S-shaped elongation. At the one end of these renal tubules, it is invaginated by the tuft of the capillaries to form the glomerular. And further elongation of the tubules, renal tubules, it forms the Bowman's capsule, proximal convoluted tubules, distal convoluted tubules, and loop of Henle. So this is how the secretory part is formed. So what happens between the secretory part and collecting part? Initially there is one thin membrane is there. And the thin membrane is disappear and there is a continuous, this tubule is continuous with the collecting tubules. So at birth there are around 1 million nephrons in each kidney. So no nephron is formed after birth. So nephron is formed until birth, and after birth there is no nephron is formed. So after birth the growth in kidney is attributed to the elongation of the nephron and increase in the interstitial kidney. And the fetal kidneys disappear. Fetal kidney is lobulated and it disappears after 1 year after birth. 1 year after birth. So this kidney is developed into the sacral region, then it ascends upward and it lies into the lumbar region. And here there is a development of the adrenal gland. So as the kidney reaches the adrenal gland, its ascent of the kidney stops. So first there is a hilum of the kidney facing anteriorly. It goes upward, it rotates medially and hilum is facing medially. Kidney ascends from the sacral position to the thoracolumbar region. So ascent of the kidney is due to the for the search of the better blood supply, small pelvic cavity that fail to accommodate the enlarged kidney, differential growth of the posterior abdominal wall, and reduction of the fetal curvature. Development of the ureter. So it arises from the mesonephric duct. As the ureteric bud is developed, so the part of the ureteric bud that between the renal pelvis and the mesonephric duct that forms the ureter. Evolution of the kidney. So the kidney is developed in these 3 stages: pronephric, mesonephron, or metanephron. So in the early development, there is a development of the duct and tubules in the cervical region. So cervical region, there is a development of the tubules and duct. So the tubules is connected with the duct. So duct, it is known as the pronephric duct. And later the pronephric duct is elongated and it reaches up to the cloaca and it opens into the cloaca. So this duct, it is known as the mesonephric duct. So in the human being, pronephric kidney, its tubules and this duct, it is a disappear. So this pronephric kidney that persists in the cyclostome and the mesonephric kidney. So in the mesonephron, there is a development of the tubules and the mesonephric duct. So this tubules is connected with the duct. So the mesonephric kidney in the human being, it's functional for the some period and later this kidney is disappear, degenerate. So in the feces, the mesonephric kidney is present. So later there is a metanephric kidney is developed. So the tubule is developed and is connected with the mesonephric duct. So it develops in the sacral region metanephric kidney. And it is a functional in the human being. So this pronephric kidney is present in the cyclostome, mesonephric kidney present in the feces, and in amnionates there is a metanephric kidney is present. So there is a ontogeny repeats the phylogeny. So all the stages of the evolution are present in the development of kidney. So it is known as the ontogeny repeats the phylogeny. Now the mesonephric duct. So there is a paid mesonephric duct is present and it communicates with the primitive urogenital sinus. The mesonephric duct is also known as the Wolffian duct. So in the female, this mesonephric duct is disappear. Now the blood supply and rotation of the kidney. So kidney is supplied by the lateral sacral artery in the sacral region. During the ascent of the kidney, there is a lateral splenic branches are developed. As it ascends upward, these branches are disappeared. And when it reaches at the level of the L2 vertebra, the lateral splenic artery of that region, it forms the definitive renal artery. On reaching the thoracolumbar region, it rotates medially around the vertical axis. So hilum changes its position from the ventral to the medial aspect. So here there is a collecting part of the kidney and excretory part of the kidney. So collecting part that develops from the mesonephric duct. From the caudal end of the mesonephric duct, ureteric bodies develop. It develops into the ureter, renal pelvis, major and minor calyces, collecting duct and collecting tubules. Now the metanephric blastema that develops around the tubules in the intermediate mesoderm. There is a metanephric vesicle is formed and this forms a tubule. Then it forms the C-shaped loop and it elongates and it forms the S-shaped loop, and that forms the proximal convoluted tubules, distal convoluted tubules, and loop of Henle. And there is a capillary at the other end of these loopholes that forms the Bowman's capsule and glomeruli. So anomalies of the kidney. There is the absence of the kidney. It is a unilateral or bilateral. If one kidney is absent, the other undergoes a hypertrophy. When there is a bilateral absence of the kidney, the newborn usually dies after birth. So, absence of the kidney, it is due to the ureteric bodies fail to develop. And sometimes the ureteric bodies develop, but metanephric tissue does not differentiate it to form the nephron. And sometimes the ureteric body develops, but it degenerates before it reaches the metanephron. Horseshoe-shaped kidney. When the kidney ascends upward, the lower pole is fused from the lower part. It are nearer to each other, and when it ascends, they fuse with each other. So, it is known as the horseshoe kidney. When the lower pole is fused, it is known as the horseshoe kidney. And when the both kidney is completely fused, it forms the pancake kidney. And when there is a lower pole of the one kidney and upper pole of the another kidney is fused, it forms the S-shaped kidney. And when there is a fuse, it lies at the lower level than the normal level. So there is an inferior mesenteric artery. It does not ascend upward beyond the inferior mesenteric artery. Lobulated kidney. So during the development, kidney is lobulated, and after the first year of birth, it disappears. But when the lobulation is persists, it forms the lobulated kidney. In some animals, there is a lobulated kidney normally present. So there is a duplication of the kidney and urinary bladder. When the ureteric bud is divided and both the ureteric bud develops into the two different parts, and the metanephric blastema develops the tissue differentiated around these two parts, it forms the duplication of the kidney and duplication of the ureter. Sometimes there is a duplication of the ureter or bifid ureter is present. Rotational anomalies of the kidney. When the kidney is not rotated, hilum is facing anteriorly and it rotates more, the hilum facing posteriorly or laterally. The aberrant renal artery. When the lower arteries are persist, it is lower arterial supply is persist, it is known as the aberrant renal artery. The accessory renal artery. In the accessory renal artery, the main arteries persist and the accessory arteries persist over the upper pole or lower pole of the kidney. When these accessory arteries are the end arteries, so when it is ligated, it produces the necrosis of the that part of the kidney. congenital polycystic kidney. And there is obstruction of the ureter that produces a hydroureter, dilatation of the ureter. Now the development of the bladder. So bladder develops from the cloaca. So by the urorectal septum that divides the cloaca into the primitive urogenital sinus and primitive rectum. And primitive urogenital sinus is divided into vesicourethral canal and definitive urogenital sinus. From the definitive urogenital, from the vesicourethral canal, there is a development of the bladder. So when there is a urorectal septum grows downwards, is attached to the cloacal membrane. And this cloacal membrane divides into the anal membrane and urinary membranes anteriorly, genital membrane and anal membrane. And where the urorectal septum attached to the cloacal membrane, it forms the perineal body. So within the urorectal septum that lies the mesonephric duct. So above the opening of the mesonephric duct, it is the vesicourethral canal, and from that develops a bladder. Of the upper dilated part of the vesicourethral canal that forms the bladder, and lower narrow part it forms the urethra. And the lower part of the definitive urogenital sinus, it divides into the two parts, pelvic part and phallic part. The absorption of the mesonephric duct into the vesicourethral canal. This mesonephric duct is absorbed into this vesicourethral canal. So the caudal to the ureteric bud, this part it is absorbed. So there is a separate opening of the ureter. When there is the ascent of the kidney, this opening of the ureter moves upwards and laterally. So it moves upward and laterally, so it forms a triangular area between the opening of the ureter and the mesonephric duct. It is known as the trigone of the urinary bladder. So trigone of the urinary bladder is derived from the absorbed part of the mesonephric duct. So epithelium of the bladder, except the trigone, is derived from the endoderm, vesicourethral canal. And the epithelium of the trigone, it develops from the absorbed part of the mesonephric duct in the dorsal wall of the vesicourethral canal. The muscles and connective tissue that derives from the mesoderm. It derives from the splanchnopubic intraembryonic mesoderm. And urachus. It is formed from the allantois. So urachus, allantois, from the allantois, and that forms the medial umbilical ligament in adult. Allantois, it is a diverticulum that arises from the endoderm into connective stalk. So that is attached to the, after folding, that attached to the cloaca. congenital anomalies, rectovesical fistula. So there is a fistula between the rectum and the bladder in male communication. It is known as the rectovaginal fistula. Vesicovaginal fistula. There is a communication between the vagina and bladder. It is known as the vesicovaginal fistula. And urachus fistula. Then the allantois. It is a persist and it communicates with the umbilicus. It forms the urachus fistula. When the allantois persist in the middle part, it forms the urachal cyst, and it persists in the proximal part. It persists in the part nearer to the umbilicus. It is known as the urachal sinus. That is the communication that opens into the umbilicus. Hourglass bladder. There is a constriction of the bladder that divides into the upper and lower part. It is known as the hourglass bladder. Ectopia vesica. There is extrophy of the urinary bladder. So there is a defect in the midline. So the defect in the midline below the umbilicus, the defect in the anti-abdominal wall and anterior wall of the urinary bladder. So the interior of the bladder is exposed. So there is a urine rebels from the exposed bladder. Eagle-Barrett syndrome, Prawn-Bailey syndrome. It is a triad of the wrinkling of the abdominal skin, cryptorchidism, urinary tract malformation. So when the teeth ring is present, it is known as the Prawn-Bailey syndrome. There is the ectopic opening of the ureter in a male. It is at the neck of the bladder, in the prostate, in the seminal vesicle, or in the rectum. The ectopic opening of the ureter in female at the neck of the bladder, urethra, vagina, the vestibule of the vagina, or in the rectum.